Here I am, Leon C., aka Morpheus, and you are now listening to the Academy of Wow. Man. And here today, ladies and gentlemen, you see the title. I thought about it thoroughly and truly, and of course, it is by popular demand of you lovely people out here in the world. I don't know you personally, and we may not have came across each other. But as I said before, I do this because if I can help one person, if I can strengthen one person, if I can keep one person alive and well, I am doing my job. So you wonder why the title is there. And Mr. Brian is going to be here in just a little bit. Usually when I do my studio, he don't do my studio at my place, my studio where my patio is, as I explained before. We usually go somewhere at a rented place. I got different buildings and businesses and things like that, lobbies, outer areas where there are people where, of course, the sound is down and exclusive. So he'll be here in just a little bit. You might hear him knock on the wood. But before he get here, he doesn't know that these are going to be a part of the subject. And the reason why I bring Brian a lot, because he's a different type of guy. He's got a unique background. He's not he's not like me, ladies and gentlemen. He's learning. He's actually a student. And when you hear him talking, if you listen carefully, and plenty of the lessons, he's kind of immature and not quite there yet. That's because it's random. And most of the questions like I have right now, he don't know what those questions are. So I do that on purpose just to see what his real response is, because it's not pre-recorded where he knows what I'm going to ask him. That way he can prepare himself for it. No, he has no idea. And usually I want the first response, not the second response. The first response is the true response. So you see the title, How to Find the Enemy. Now, the reason why this is important, because I'm getting questions from both male and female. They want to figure out who is real and who isn't real. Who is by their side? Who is the ride or die individual? That's right. Who's this person you can trust? That is in your financial world, ladies and gentlemen. That's with your personal life, your friends. I'm giving you the keys here to success in vetting people. And please believe, or shall I say, please understand. Belief is your word. No, it's please understand and accept what I'm saying to be true, that you will end up cutting off a lot of people. You will end up finding out that your circle of friends or people you can trust is very small. I mean, that's common sense, right? Or it should be. But a lot of us don't understand that because you keep putting in. So I came up with several questions here as soon as Brian gets here in just a little bit. And I'm putting my personal take on it as well, what I have done personally. So I'm not giving you too much information about myself or my personal life, but you want to know what's real. So several of them, I've done it myself, and you begin to realize where and why I move differently. And especially the way that the world operates today. I mean, you've seen so many popular people simply going out to eat somewhere and then they get mugged because somebody know them. You might see a popular YouTuber try to head somewhere and he needs a couple of bodyguards because he's popular. You know, people know him. You know, people are familiar with him. That's probably him right there texting. Hold on here. No, chiming in to let me know he's around the corner. But anyhow, so in this crazy world that we live in, ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying to teach you to help yourself and teach you how to defend yourself should situations happen. See, what I have learned, and I'm not going to get too far into it, people put their business too far out there. You know, y'all do too much. You know, you put your entire life on the internet, your entire life on Instagram, Facebook, and extra areas. Then you come across someone Could be a girlfriend, maybe a guy friend who likes to post everything, take pictures, and tell the world that you're in New York or you're in this popular eating area. You're sitting down at Salt Bay, something like that. I'll be there in 15 minutes. Now the world knows that you're going to be there in 15 minutes. And if people like you or they dislike you, they're going to meet you there. And you're going to be that person that either they like or they hate. And you will know that they like you and hate you. And most of the times, even in the most aggressive ways, either you're a fan and they want an autograph or they want to take pictures with you, or they're ready to pull out their blowhorn and let you know that they don't want you here alive any longer. So a lot of you don't understand that. You put yourself in this, let's just say, this new generation of mindless disregard of their own privacy and safety generation, because you're too busy looking for clout. You're too busy looking for views. You're too busy looking for likes. Y'all are willing to risk your life over likes. Got this girlfriend taking pictures of you and letting you know where you are. And then you got several people. Oh, okay. He's going to that restaurant over there. Okay. Let's go get him, boys or girls. Then you find yourself hemmed up or in a situation where you're being chased down the street by 2 or 3 different cars that want to blow your windows out because you was a smart individual. No, you was dumb. See, a lot of you don't understand. I'm not going to get into it. It's called a hangman situation. The generation that you live in now isn't necessarily made for you to prosper as you may think. It is a soft hand type of assault on your life where you think everything is good and wonderful and the lions and tigers and the animals are the evil monsters of the world are subdued. But that's how they get you, because your guard is down and you say, oh, I'm going to post this. And you post it wherever you're at or what you're doing, what business. And then that will be the end of you eventually, because they know where you at, know what you're doing, and you clipped. But anyhow, moving further besides that dark end of the conversation, even though you need to know that, the reason is to keep your circles clean. Keep your circles, people that are around you, to be true. Or at least we have failures. Everybody's not going to be perfect. Your friend, your family, people, they're going to be a little angry. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to want to go somewhere else, do something else. They might not want to hang out with you. They might stab you in the back once in a while, accidentally, not meaning to. They might break a boundary or two. Some people do that. They don't really mean to do so. You can't do all your checks and balances. You're not going to sit there across the table from someone and tell them everything that you expect from them. Usually it just goes through time and spending time with them. But let this lesson be for you, ladies and gentlemen, and take it to heart. If you want to pull out a paper and pencil, do so. And listen in intently as I describe to you why I move how I move, especially for those who've asked me questions, why I don't do a lot of videos. There's some, I don't do a lot of videos why I don't show my lifestyle and cars and my girls and things like that. Just little minor things like that. Because I understand that the enemy is always in the bushes. Okay. And a smart person mitigates their risk. Is there always a risk? Sure. There's going to be haters. Absolutely. Am I scared? No. Is it about fear? No. I'm a very smart guy, just like you should be. You got to understand that the risk is not worth the reward. You got this dangling carrot or you think it's a carrot. You going for it. You think that's going to be the thing that's going to get you over the edge or give you that promotion, that grant, that success, that extra money, that clout, that vision that you need. And the way seems clear. It seems all right. But as soon as you go towards it and you get near it, that's when the arrow comes flying from somewhere that you least expected because you was a moron and get you in the knee. And now you crippled for the rest of your life. So the risk is not worth the reward most of the time. Grandma, grandpa, and our ancestors have lived a long time without the moronic, dumb behavior that we're doing in this current generation. They've survived. Maybe not easy. They had their struggles. I'm pretty sure that it's kind of hard without technology. And as you can imagine, some of the devices that we have today But hey, sometimes life is about survival and just making sure that your next generation is here. However, not to get too far and deep into it, I'm gonna go ahead and he's not here right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and pause the recording device. Me and my girls is going to. They're sitting out on the chair, so they're pretty cool. They're pretty much all right. I'm gonna get me something to drink and wait for Brian to come through, and I'm gonna throw some questions at him. He don't know what's gonna happen. He actually don't know. Usually when I call him up is, hey, I have a conversation, I have a subject that I want to talk about. And he's like, okay, sure. Where are we going to meet? And so that's what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. So bear with me and we'll get this happen. Hopefully, your words. You see how I'm throwing your words out there on purpose so I can correct it? No, expectedly. I expect that he's not going to say anything stupid. Okay, but let's expect that it's possible because he's still learning and trying to understand. And one day he will get where he needs to be. As long as he continue to have a conversation with me and understand how the world operates, he'll get there. So, without further ado, I'll go ahead and pause it. And I will speak with you in just a second. Or a few minutes. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Here I am. And I do have, like I promised you, Brian with us today. And before Brian speaks, again, he doesn't know the topic. Caught him pretty much off guard like a deer in headlights. So, Brian, before we get started, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. Morpheus, how you doing?
Right, you can call me OC. It's fine. There's just too many Morpheuses out there. If you notice, everybody's calling himself Morpheus and some type of, I don't know, messenger. So I try to be authentic and run away from those types of things to do something differently. So, before we get started, I was having a conversation about certain people who put. Actually, let me ask you a question. When people live on the internet, like Facebook, Instagram, and they post where they are, location, and they pretty much make their life public. What do you think about that? Do you think that's an okay thing to do, or do you think there should be a limit to that?
I think that they are making themselves a target, actually.
Mm-hmm.
You know, nothing is sacred anymore. Nothing is secret. Nothing is personal these days. People are putting out their personal business. You put your location out. People will know where you are to ambush you.
Because it's happened before, especially from a popular rapper or not necessarily actors. Actors have to deal with that too. We just don't hear enough about it. But there was a popular music artist that was in a restaurant and they got popped because the girl, wanted to post and they figured out where he was at. Now, I'm not blaming her, but I'm just saying there has to be a reason why, how a person know where you are. There's tracking devices and you put some on Instagram and Facebook. Yeah, here we are at Salt Bay. The next thing you know, you're in the parking lot getting popped because people don't like you.
Yeah, but the phone is a tracking device in itself. You don't have to use Facebook.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that in its minimum though, but it's not really available to the entire public though, or your fans of people who don't like you. Unless you're posting it where you are, then of course you bring in that public negativity towards your direction. You may have a location on your devices, but that's just for safety purposes and the sneaky eyes and the undercover black situations. But besides that, when you purposely tell people where you are, so you're saying this specifically a risk?
Yes, it is a risk.
I'm glad you say that. So I'm gonna tell you what the topic is today. Then I'm going to go down several lists of things. I'm going to ask you some questions about that because I could be wrong, Brian. Because it's been from popular demand and many people asking me about the situation. So I thought I'd give them my forte about it. How to figure out who your enemy is. Friends and circles and things like that.
That's a good one.
It's a good one because people want to figure out How do they know that their friend is their friend? How do you know your woman is your woman? How do you know that people who are around you, they have your best interests at heart? So I'm going to go ahead and ask you, I'm going to throw that out there, what I think the topic is. Well, I'm going to give you the topic and let you talk about it. Then I'm going to give you my take on it. So the first one is, the three first ones are kind of personal, but I guess I can say that. So once upon a time before I got started, let's go back to memory lane here. And so in the past, I lived in an apartment, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I never really brought my girls around. And some of the people I would talk to, at that time, I was actually putting all the pieces together and making my establishment, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Brian, can you pretty much fathom and imagine that because people didn't see me with either a woman around, do you know they called me gay?
Oh, yeah, they do that all the time. If you don't talk to women, oh, you gay. If you're not dating, oh, you gay. Yeah. You see that girl over there, you didn't say hi to her, you gay.
You must be gay. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that was...
Women be like, why you ain't talk to me? Oh, he must be gay. Oh, he gay.
And so here's what I add to this, because a lot of people don't understand that. Men, listen up. You notice that oftentimes when there is a woman that you're talking to or just in a room with her, she may be, a co-worker, which I wouldn't suggest talking to, but she's there anyway. Mm-hmm. Or women that's around your vicinity, no matter where you're at in public. Mm-hmm. Do you realize that when you deny that girl or you act as if you're not interested in her because there's something wrong with her, she always turns it around and say there may be something wrong with you. So they'll say that you must be gay because you're not talking to her.
Yeah. Sounds like what's it called? Shame, guilt, need to be right.
And the need to be right. You're absolutely right about that. But you're right. And the fact is, here it is, ladies and gentlemen, how you know your enemy. Men, understand. How do you vet out a 304? How do you know she's a 304 whore? Okay. How do you know that? Because if a woman, generally, think about it, because you're not talking to her, because you're not approaching her, because you're not sexually approaching her in an intimate manner, she's thriving for attention, and she's used to having that attention towards her, so that way she can either manipulate the guy who's trying to talk to her or holler at her, and that's a clear indication that she has more traction than what you think she does. So because you go the opposite direction, you don't want to talk to her. Most guys who approach her, you automatically know that they just want to get the poon poon, or they have no standards, they have no values. So because you deny her, you showing her that you have values, you have standards, and in her pea brain, she can't imagine that there's actually something wrong with her. Mm-hmm. So she'll automatically assume that there's something wrong with you. So that'll let you know that she may have had too many sausages in her past, and she has a lot of beta orbiters. Simple. You see how she exposed herself by just calling you gay because you're not bringing a woman around. It backfires on herself. Then you can look at her and be like, wait a minute, I'm gay because I don't like you, because you're not my type, or you're overweight, or you've got a bad lifestyle, or you're 3 or 4. So the shaming usually, if you can read between the line, which is the whole definition of the red pill, if you can read between the line, you can tell exactly what a person is all about, especially in this situation. So what do you add to that? Am I right or wrong? What's your thoughts?
No, that sounds right to me. People expose themselves without even knowing it. Mm-hmm. And then most guys be like, oh no, I got to prove to her I ain't gay.
That's what she, and then you fall for it. Go ahead. I don't want to stop you.
Yeah, basically that's it. Yeah, I got to prove to her that I ain't gay.
I'm going to talk to her now.
I'm a good
So she just did reverse psychology on it.
She meant serious gay. Some manly gay. Because I'm all man over here.
Yeah, show her. I'm going to holler at her now. I'm going to get her in bed by the night because she likes a challenge. She likes the chaos because what do we say about women like? They like action. They like stuff happening. If things are just normal, everything is working fine. It's too boring for her. So she's trying to rile you up to, yeah, like a monkey. Yeah, I'm gonna get at her now. I'm gonna show off that I got something between my legs, and you're the fool because you played into her game. Because not, I won't say a lot of men because I don't want to assume, but I would say that there is plenty of men out there. If you claim that their sexual preference is with the same sex, especially from the opposite sex, they will try to polish up their pride. And it bruises their pride, especially around, pretty girls. Oh, how are you going to say that I'm like that amongst 4 girls? So he has to prove himself. But he doesn't understand that confidence and understanding yourself is going the opposite direction and not giving a damn about what somebody say about you.
Exactly, because, alpha usually, I would think an alpha wouldn't care what someone's thoughts are.
Absolutely. 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 And we're going to get on that. I like that you said that. I want you to keep that thought because that's going to segue into the constant conversation. You're right. An alpha or an alpha-minded man, okay, will not care. But we're going to tweak that a little bit. I'm going to teach you some stuff. I'm going to teach. Listen up, ladies and gentlemen, because we're getting ready to get somewhere. Very good, Brian. Very good. And it's not just being alpha. It's just understanding how the game goes and understanding the female. And having such a assertiveness within yourself where you're not going to fall for their ploy and their scheme. Then you end up being the dummy having, relationships with this girl you really don't like just to prove something. You just wasted your time. If you want to prove anything, walk away, give her the middle finger, say, I don't give a about what you think. And then maybe one day in the future, months in advance or next week, you bring a pretty girl around that looks better than her, smaller, cuter, younger. Say, oh, this is my chick right here. Oh, do I know you? No, I don't know you, chick. Who are you? Let's keep going. This strange girl is talking behind her back. Let's hurry up and walk faster because she's embarrassing me. When she'll look at you like, oh my God, I guess he's not gay. I wasn't gay the first time. Who said I was?
Yeah, he gay, all right. He's happy as heck.
All right, I'm getting to the next one. So next topic is, I did this, but let me see how you would take it.
All right.
So I met this girl at a business meeting, right? And I got a game plan here on purpose. Again, ladies and gentlemen, the title is How to Vet Out the Enemy. How to know who's for you and not for you. So you already got the one with somebody calling you out of your sexual preference because they want to prove something to themselves. It's not you needing to prove. It's actually them trying to figure you out. And the number one thing is never let a person figure you out 100%. But while they're trying to pry or probe into your personal life and what you are, who you are, like Brian just said, they're exposing themselves to be somebody that just want to either hurt you or they want self-benefit. And you got to walk away from people like that. So I met this girl. So what I did was, and this is what I do typically, but you can tell me I'm wrong. It's fine. It's your opinion. So she said, hey, what is your name? Oh, I said, oh, my name is David. Right. Now you see in a minute. I said, yeah, my name is David. What is yours? Oh, my name is so. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So I said, oh, we're going to hang out and, let me, get a chance to talk to us, exchange numbers, the normal twas, right? I said, okay, so we're going to meet up Saturday. We're going to go get some coffee and have a conversation. We're going to do that. What do you think of that first interaction? You think I was wrong for that?
No,
Or do you have an idea of what I'm doing and why I'm doing that?
I got an idea. First of all, not no super expensive date. That's one. Ain't no trying to press you with money.
No, I told her my name was David. My name's not David. It's LCM.
Give her alias.
An alias, right? Why'd I do that?
So that way she doesn't know your real name. She doesn't know you.
Good response, but I'm gonna tell you why I did that. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go again. Because what most women are doing nowadays, and some men, a lot of them, they want your name, and they want your last name, etc., so they can go online, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, they can go on the internet, look up you on Instagram, Facebook, or wherever else that you are, and try to vet you out, try to figure out, try to see what type of blue check you are. They want to see what type of guy you are. They practically want to go to the investigatory route, if I can say it that way, to figure you out. Now, you will say, "Oh, this is not really wrong for a person that because you could be a what do you call that? Murderer. You could have got out of prison just yesterday. You could have did this and that." No, the key is your value as a man and a person is what? The way grandma, grandpa, the way life really works, if this is how it is. If you don't have relations, it don't matter. Okay? If you just want to spend time with this person temporarily and go on about your way, it don't matter. But if you want them to be in your life as maybe an important person and you want to start off on the right path, you have to give them a shit test like they're giving you a shit test. So the shit test was to see if she was going to go online to figure out if that was my real name or not. She stepped on her own toes because I knew she was going to do that. What I was going to do, Brian, when we went out to eat, I was going to show her my name and say, "Hey, I just did that because I don't trust everyone to do this the honest way. So I wanted to see if you wanted to get to know me for who I am as a man. And I wanted to make sure that you wasn't like the rest of the bozos out here that want to premeditate, or you could say prejudge me ahead of time before getting a chance to even know me physically, face to face." And you want to know how that transpired, Brian?
How'd that go?
I'm gonna tell you how it went. On Thursday, we were supposed to go out Friday. And I said, "Call me before 9 o'clock because I'm going to come and pick you up, blah, blah." You know, she said, "Well, I think I'm going to pass on and I'm going to do something else." I said, "Why?" And she said, "Well, there's a thing called technology. So, now I think I'm going to pass on it." What she did was she took that name, tried to match my picture with it, whatever else, and it didn't come up right. So in her mind, she fooled herself because I knew exactly what she was getting ready to do. So she was like, "Oh, he must be a creep. He's hiding something. Something must be wrong." If you deal with that type of person, automatically they have a mistrust. They're living in a world of fear. They're not trying to get to know you for who you are. What most women do, listen, ladies and gentlemen, what they do is they want to compare you with every other guy on their roster. You as a man, if you have, let's just say, love for yourself and you got standards for yourself, don't be a part of the roster. Be different than the roster. There's one thing that I don't agree with, and I can care less people match me with other people. I'd rather not because I can care less. I'm going to be the eagle to fly somewhere else. If there's a line of people standing outside this door, I'm going to go somewhere else. It's just the way that I am. And when you do that, you're able to see the enemy at the end of the road. You're able to see how she's running game on you. So most of the times, it's not that you're lying. You're giving them a shit test. You're testing them as well as they're testing you. And if they pass that, if she passed and we were sitting down drinking coffee, it's stage 1 to stage 2 to stage 3. I'll say, "Okay, this is why, and this is because of," and now we can move on to the next stage. It's almost as if I got a bag of gold, I want to know that you're not going to steal my bag of gold. So I'm going to tell you that there's garbage in this bag. Oh, it's my books in this bag, or it's nothing important. Then eventually, if I trust you, maybe I start, edging toward this little nugget here or there, or, "Oh, you got the, yeah." And then eventually, because I trust you enough, or because you've proven not to be somebody that was out to get me in put me in a bracket or be a deceiver yourself, then I can understand that you are not the enemy. What do you think?
That's actually diabolically brilliant.
It worked. It worked. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what I did. So it's not that you're lying, you're testing them.
Mm-hmm.
Because what happened is, oh, that's not your real name. I found out that your name. Oh, so you going online to try to figure out who I am. So that means you don't want to get to know me for who I am. You want to get to know me for what the internet is saying. Because actors, rappers, famous people, the internet can tell you everything about them.
Oh, you can be anybody on the internet.
You can be all kind of people, and you will never know that person until you sit down and have a conversation with them face to face. You say, you know what? You're not a jerk. You're not a jerk as they say you are. You know, they said this. There's been so many podcasts and so many people that get dogged out on social media and, you know, around the public arena.
Because of the territory.
And when they have public interviews with that person,
It's
9 times out of 10, it's different. They'll say, you know what? You're such a cool person.
Night and day.
But because we don't, remember what I said in the beginning, they were putting their whole life on the internet and social media, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
You got to create a filter for yourself. And when you create that filter, you can get past the bullshit. So that was pretty cool, right?
Yeah, it was.
Okay. Let's see. Something else here. Okay. So here's another way that you can filter out. Be careful because that thing is probably just sticking out like that. You don't want to. Because it's right there. It's all bulky right here. Anyhow. So I did something else. And I think it's another genius thing. When I walk around places and people. I used to do a thing where when I met women too,
mm-hmm.
I wouldn't dress down.
Wouldn't dress down.
I wouldn't dress down. I'd wear not my best shoes. I'd wear my kick around shoes. Instead of wearing my creased pants, I wear regular pants. Instead of wearing a shirt that, you know, Gucci and, fly, smell like cologne. I'm gonna smell like cologne. I smell good. Don't get me wrong. But it's not going to be designer where you're looking at me like, oh, his clothes is expensive. Because I've learned as a teenager in high school, right? And this is something that most men should understand. It's been happening for a long time. They say, oh, yeah, a woman's going to look at you from your head to your toes. She's going to check your shoes out. And I'm thinking, I say, yeah, that's what gold diggers do. Oh, you want to check me out and see what type of shoes? Oh, are they expensive? They Jordans? How much they cost? Oh, you got some jewelry on. Let me check you out. You blinging, huh? So, I do the opposite. So, let's just say I was a millionaire and I'm not. Maybe one day, okay? I'm going to do the same thing. Because guess what? If you judge me by the way I look, you, sir, are my enemy.
It makes sense to me.
Now, I understand there's stereotypes. I get it. I can't walk around dressed like a security guard because people gonna assume I'm a security guard. Okay, I can't walk around look like I'm a bum and everything is all ripped up and stuff. I understand that I have to accept and look at the reality of life that people are going to go by what they see.
Mm-hmm. Perception.
But perception. You have to have a plan where it depends on what you want and where you're going. Now, if you're going to a business meeting, you're going to a job, you're going somewhere, yeah, you're going to dress accordingly. But when you're trying to attract a person who's either your friend or your enemy, you have to dress according to the game. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it worked out perfectly because what would happen is if I go to the mall, and here's the catch, and I think I told you this before, I did gold digger pranks before. And I used my friend's Ferrari. This is in, y'all know, Wildman lesson 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 down there at the bottom, okay? This is one prank I didn't tell anybody, but I've been doing it all the time. So the Ferrari's sitting outside. It's not mine, it's rented, but I'm driving it for the day, right? And I have another good-looking guy standing next to me with a suit, clean shoes, slacks, sunglasses on, and, fake jewelry. It's jewelry, but, who cares? And so we'd go and approach girls.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with the regular clothes on, like I told you before.
Mm-hmm.
And so what ended up happening is the girl, or maybe 3 girls or 4 girls, they will kind of look over me when I'm trying to talk to them or holler at them.
Mm-hmm.
And I notice that they look at me from the top of my head to the bottom of my shoes. Like, oh, you ain't got none. But they will give a little bit more attention to the good looking guy next to me.
Mm-hmm.
So we gathered an abundance of attention on purpose, just walking around, talking to people and riling up the crowd. And it was like an open area where the mall is. So the door was open and Ferrari was out there where people can see it. It wasn't all the way in far in, it's up there in the front.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're walking out and some of the girls were still by the door. They try to pretend. Remember, a girl will look at you even though she's not looking at you. She's looking at her girlfriend talking, but she's looking at you from the side of her face.
Mm-hmm.
So we're walking out there. I'm going to pull the keys out. And I was on the passenger side. I walked over there to the driver's side. He walked over to his Chevy. He had a Chevy Cavalier.
Mm-hmm.
I stayed where the Ferrari was and was getting ready to put the keys in the Ferrari. Did you know some of the girls in there, I think it was 2 or 3 of them, one of them started walking down it was a conveyor. Those elevator stairs.
Mm-hmm. Escalator.
She was walking down it faster. She wasn't waiting for it to go. She was trying to hurry up. Other girl by the door stopped drinking and talking to the girl to stare. And I seen another girl that was in the window looking out. Like, what the? She was waiting to see who that car belonged to. That's why she was standing by the window of the mall to see. You'd be like, okay, you got other things to do. You're at the mall. Why you sitting there? But anyway, the point is, now I hear some girls from a distance, hey, could I get your number? Something that they'd never do before. I'm like, what is this? Like, what? And now all of a sudden, I'm the popular one. Girl run out from behind the car somewhere behind me. Didn't even see the girl. Oh, this your car? This is sexy. Ooh, that car is sexy, just like you. I'm like, wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. What did she just say? Oh, wait a minute. Here I am with regular clothes on. And what did I just say? Not even up to date. Not Gucci.
But guess. You know where Gucci is.
Yeah.
Guess.
Knockoff brand. Purposely looking shabby, a little shabby. But I'm sexy. I was like, look at this. You know what? Vetting out the enemy. The person who wants to get to know you for you, the person who's the gold digger, and just practically walking around with shovels, waiting for the opportunity to take something that don't even belong to them. What you think?
I mean, it's like that's old knowledge, but people don't keep that in mind. It's
They
like,
still do that today.
you go to the club, you see the guy with the fancy chain,
Mm-hmm.
you got the fancy clothes, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, live in a hovel, you know.
Or he don't own his car.
Yeah.
He lives in the basement of his mother's house.
Yeah, you know.
He's driving around in somewhat of a Rolls Royce with some classy wheels on it that he really can't afford.
Gucci wallet with $5 in it. Okay? But then you got the guy in the back, in the shadows. He's sitting at the table.
Not doing anything. Quiet.
Just maybe counting a little money or maybe on his phone.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's the
notice
baller.
he wearing Guess clothing, as in Guess the brand.
Okay, very good.
He wearing the buddies.
Okay.
You know, he might just have a regular t-shirt, but he happens to own the club.
Wow.
Because see, it's about not looking rich. The ones who look rich usually aren't.
Sometimes,
the ones who are rich, they usually dress down. They're usually more low key.
I think this is kind of crazy though, Brian, but help me out with this. I can ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it? And this is why I blame the dating marketplace on men.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you know that this is what the modern woman is after, or at least a handful of, not all of them, but a lot of them. Okay, not all of them, but a lot of them. They're after digging the gold and what you have, trying to look for a blue check, digging around on social media. Why do men still think that they have to dress to impress, drive to impress, act to impress, when all they're doing, if I'm wrong, tell me, all they're doing is making the situation worse, and they're not correcting it. They're making it worse by increasing the girls' interest in those vanity things instead of being the genuine guy and saying, I don't care about what you think about me. I'm going to drive my Ford F-150, without it blinging out, regular paint job. I don't need a speaker system. I'm just cool coming home from a construction job. I don't give a damn about what you think. If you want to ride in this truck, you can ride in this truck or not. I don't care. They're not making it better. So why do they still do that instead of changing the game?
Because they don't care that they're making things worse. They're trying to get in where they fit in. They don't know their value. So
say that again. Repeat yourself. Say that again. You got to speak where they can hear that.
I said,
slow it down.
Because they don't care that they're making it worse. They're trying to get in where they fit in because they don't know their value.
Oh, shoot.
Okay. Those are the guys that I'll do whatever.
I'll do whatever to get the poom. It's not even worth it, man. I mean, I don't get it. Help me out here. I know women are good, right? And the interaction and getting a goodie, it's nice.
Mm-hmm.
But why sacrifice yourself, your manhood, and your time, your meat, money, energy, attention, your time?
Mm-hmm.
Credit the CGA for something that's going to be an hour and 50 minutes when you can arrange your life.
Hour and 50 minutes. Well, you got a good 5 minutes with me.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, you got a good 5 minutes.
I like to take my time like I'm sipping fine wine. So I like to make it memorable. Because if she leave, I already got an hour and 50 minutes. So I'm done.
Hey, you'd be surprised how many positions you can fit in 5 minutes, though.
I would be surprised.
I'm telling you. I'm tired, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, God. I can imagine what. Lord have mercy. 1, 2 over here. 1, 2 over there.
Oh, yeah.
1, 2 over here.
Man.
Okay, 1, 2 over there. You're going to have her dizzy by the time you're done.
That's all I need.
You're going to end up hurting something.
She gonna feel it.
Something's going to hurt.
Best 5 minutes of her life.
Lord have mercy.
Oh, man.
Well, you'd be surprised, though. You'd be surprised that, and I'm not hipping your game, anything like that, or cock blocking, but what I know is some girls don't like that. Now, yes, you can satisfy her mentally. If you get her in her head, usually that's where a woman gets her climax, and that's where she gets stimulated at. But eventually, over time, she's still going to want to get some sort of relief or some sort of satisfaction. So men who are quickie like that, they're quickies, and they do 5 minutes usually all the time. Most of those girls, they'll handle it for a little bit of time, but they start getting frustrated and they try to seek for that satisfaction somewhere else. I know that because I've encountered plenty of women like that. Oh, he was just so fast. He never lasts that long. But if you make sure that she gets her satisfaction, I got a thing where, and I know it's kind of not contradictory to my standing, because I got my companions, so I got good experience with that. I have to anyway. But anyhow, I make sure that she's taken care of first, or at least along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm still getting mine when she's getting hers, okay? But I want to make sure that her eyes is turning behind her head, her knees is buckling, her hair's all over the place, and she felt like she was in the 5th dimension and just came back. Afterwards, then I make sure that I'm taken care of afterwards. She'll do whatever I want her to do thereafter. You see what I mean? But in the interim, I understand that there are some couples that just 5 minutes here, quickie there. And what happens is you have a disconnect because she'll figure it out that you just want yours and you don't care about hers. And what happened is mentally, she's going to start pulling away from you because she realized, oh, that's all you care about is just this. You're no different than the rest of the guys.
Mm-hmm.
And then you try and disconnect yourself from her.
Mm-hmm.
So although 5 minutes is possible, I don't think it's something that's going to be conducive to a healthy long-term relationship. But hey, it's you though. I mean, most of them, they only work that anyway, so we're not even getting that kind of stuff. I'm with you on that. Like, you know, I'm done. Goodbye. There's a door right there. Get out. Oh, why did you do that? Yeah. No, race to the finish, baby. You lost. You want to add anything to that before I go to the next?
Trojan man.
Trojan.
Yeah. I'm just saying, Trojan. Yeah.
Lord have mercy. Somebody give this dude a beer or something. 5 minutes, I don't know, man. That's going. That's a slip off or that's a break situation. You willing to risk it? Lord have mercy. I think Brian got through having him a couple of swigs before he showed up, ladies and gentlemen. Let's forgive him. TMI.
Yeah.
It's not.
Let's move on.
Yeah. Going to the next.
Oh.
So let's see. Oh, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Back to the subject. Another big thing that a lot of you need to understand is this. Now, I know we was talking about relationships and dating, but this is something a little outside of it, but it's the same. You can apply all these in one. Be deceptive, be sort of confusing, but with this one is something different. We have debates a lot on panels, podcasts, and even broadband television. And you notice that there's two people, one person speaking the facts or just talking, and then there's another person who needs to receive what that person is saying and reciprocate it.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of you don't understand this. This is why there's an expression that a smart guy can't really talk to a fool. Or if you're intelligent and you spend your time with dumb people long enough, you end up dumb just like them. Okay? You can't argue with an idiot. So this is what I put together. Pay attention. How you are able to filter out a person who's for you or not for you is this, Brian. And again, tell me if I'm wrong. Give me your opinion on this.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about hard subjects that you understand or you comprehend in the world today. And see if that person tries to understand where you're coming from. If that person do not understand where you're coming from, it could be two things. It should only be two things. One, they don't understand because they have a different experience. And so their logic isn't hitting the points that you're saying because they just don't understand. But, I mean, naturally. On the other end, here's the catch, because most of them do this. This is the majority of them. It's not that they have a different experience, they have different life troubles. No, the other one outweighs it all. A lot of times, people aren't trying to get an understanding. They want you to understand them, but they don't want to understand you.
Mm-hmm.
So think about it. If we're talking about how, especially in the dating circle today now, where men are speaking to women,
mm-hmm.
but women always want you to understand her and her feelings. And I feel this way, and I think, and I feel, and I feel. They always want you to feel her chaos and understand her. But when the roles reverse, and you're explaining your side of the story, you as a man and what you want, what you need, your ideas of the world, they don't want to understand that.
No.
So when you encounter, I'm gonna let you have the floor after this. When you encounter someone, whether they may be female or not,
Mm-hmm.
and you're speaking something from what you know, if someone cares about being around you and they respect you, you know what they're gonna do? I want to try to understand Brian because I want to understand because he's spitting facts or something. If they don't, and they're your enemy, and this is how they're your enemy, because they're too stuck on themselves, narcissistic. They're too stuck on their mindset and what they got going on. And those type of people, you can't bond with them anyway, because it's always going to be your fault and they're always going to be right. That's how you filter out them in that situation. What do you think? The floor is yours.
No, that makes sense to me. I mean, that's what narcissistic people do. You know, it's their world. You just live in it.
Nice.
I'm the top. You just stop. That's narcissism. You know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, basically, they are the right. They are the A team. Their accomplishments overshadow your accomplishments.
How I feel. My feelings outweigh your logic, Brian.
Mm-hmm. Basically,
You got to care about what I feel. Like I feel that you're wrong, even though I don't want to understand what you're saying. It sounds like what you're saying is right, but my feelings are more important than what you're thinking, Brian. That don't make sense, though, do it?
No, not at all. But then,
Why are people dealing with that then? Explain it to me. Why is it in this dating pool, in the new generation now, that men are even wrestling with something like that? I'll just walk away and be like, I ain't got time for you. I'm like, please. I'll be better off talking to a bus that's driving down the street and yelling at the bus driver and have a conversation with you. Talking about, I don't understand where you're coming from. I don't have to understand where you want to. You got something to add with it? Because I'm getting ready to blow up on something.
I actually want to hear you blow up.
You want to hear me blow up?
Yeah.
You want to hear me blow up? They got a thing. Someone said this, that women don't have to understand men. Because ever since they were 14, 15, 16, 17, the world is their oyster, right? And men come to them, men approach them. So they don't have to. They'll walk outside pretty. Men would just come to them, right? Again, that falls back on men.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't have to understand the man to make it in this world, or to be the man's wife, or for him to find her interesting, then how come he's not making any barriers or standards that she's going to have to figure out what this guy's thinking?
See,
Explain that to me.
and the thing is, just putting my 2 cents in to kind of piggyback off of that, because women do what men allow them to do.
Oh, shoot. Now, when you say allow, you know what I mean? You're not talking about controlling.
No.
You just mean the fact that men have no filters or standards.
Yeah.
That women are going to have to come in contact with
checking
to get benefits.
Yeah, men are not checking negative behavior.
They're
letting it ride.
Right.
You know.
Like being slapped up in public, her yelling at him in front of everybody.
Yeah.
You ain't
and actually taking it.
You poor mother. Right in front of a group of people. And he'll just sit there.
Because again, not knowing their value. In fact, they will devalue themselves.
Yes. Yeah, you on it.
You're on it. Just to pacify the woman.
Just to get in the door, yeah.
Yeah, that's how they do. That's why when it comes to marriage, a man gets on his knee. That is a form of being subservient. That's a form of lowering yourself. Remember, he's lowering himself to his knee.
Would you ever do something
while
like that?
She's standing on her own 2 feet, standing up.
Are you ever going to get married, Brian?
It's funny. I used to be one of the ones that thought about marriage, but as time progresses and you see all these marriages where the woman just seems to get more benefit, if any, compared to the man.
Incentives and all, yeah.
Yeah, like in the end, I mean, think about it. You got this woman who ain't did nothing with her life. Absolutely nothing.
And she can take
And
everything
you got
away
this
from you.
dude who scraped and clawed his way to CEO status of a company. They get married. She pop up a few kids. Give it a couple years. Next thing you know, she is bored with him. Things are getting stale. You know, all of a sudden she sees another guy, starts to lust after that guy.
Oh, shoot.
You know, next thing you know, infidelity, or in the mind, infidelity. Don't even have to be physical, just in the mind, because once it's in the mind, it's over.
Yep.
Once it's in the mind, it's over. Next thing you know, I want a divorce. They go to court. What does government do? They give them half of everything that man crawled and scraped his way to get. When she did nothing with her life, she walks away with half.
Shoot.
That's how it goes. You know, I was watching this video.
Go ahead.
And in this video, this man telling this woman, you know, I want you to sign a prenup. And she straight up told him, I'm not signing one.
Oh, shoot.
What's yours is mine. And what's mine is yours. That's how it goes.
Oh, man. What'd the guy do?
I mean, they were talking. Eventually he said, well, then I guess there's no wedding. She was like, oh, there's going to be a wedding.
So she was basically trying to force him into it.
Basically, yeah. Tell me, I'm not signing no prenup. He said, well, there's not going to be a wedding. She said, oh, there's going to be a wedding.
Isn't that a sense of entitlement?
Actually, yeah. That's because, I mean,
Men put
she
them
got
on
all,
that.
yeah, she had all these men that have been subservient to her, gave her way. Don't know how to say the word no and stand by it.
How are men today going to create this dynamic, but then going to complain about it when they start seeing it unfold? Because if you think about it, if you yourself, Brian, has to do the paperwork, you got to go through measures, you got to go get a fingerprint, you have to go through a driver's test, you have to wait for a month and a half or be on 60-day probation in order to be let into some legitimate good establishment to make good money. You're going to do whatever it takes to get there. Plus, you realize that that's their standard, especially when they want you to walk around in a uniform. So if she can just walk on in without previous training, no driver course, no previous experience, and
Sounds like marriage.
she can walk around, no uniform to do whatever the hell she want to do. How is the owner of the business or the company going to complain when they hired her, even without an interview? Oh, come on in. You're hired. You never gave me the standards. So if they don't know what the requirements are, how are you afterwards going to try to tell them that there are some requirements?
And that's the problem. Unless you know they don't care about the requirements.
The poon isn't that important. Money, success, and the future is, but these men, that's why they get pilfered for their money, success, and their future. Especially through the courtroom, because they don't understand that. Not understanding the enemy. I got something else I'm going to add to it. I want to wait till later because we got more about trying to figure out who the enemy is. I got like 2 more here left, ladies and gentlemen, but I want to throw something else at you. In a group of girls that we had, now I want you to give me your personal opinion on this. Ladies and gentlemen, disclaimer. I don't have anything against women. You know that. Don't get your panties in a bunch. It's going to get kind of uncomfortable here on what we're going to discuss. So it's not a misogyny. It's just real life and something you can probably think about if you put your emotions aside. I don't care about your emotions anyway.
Yeah, we love women over here.
We're all about, yeah, definitely. So we're all about what's right and what's real. If you don't like it, get the hell on to somebody else's channel. I don't give a You understand? Now.
Ooh, that's kind of rough there.
You ain't seen rough yet. This is virgin compared to how I really handle it.
Virgin ears.
How my conversations really go. So I'm being nice right now. This is my nice self. The Black Stallion's at rest. So there was a conversation with a man and a woman, or a couple of men, a couple of women. And we were talking about what they bring to the table. Remember this conversation? And they said the question was, who is the value in the relationship? And the man said, well, I'm the value because I have to go out and work, put my life on the line, have to protect you. I got to do the pipes, I got to do electricity. I built the world, et cetera, et cetera. Pretty much everything that's around us, right? And, military, being drafted, even if we don't want to go. Iran can tell you that. And what she said, I want to get your take on this. She said, well, I bring children to the table because I am the value, because what you do is all you got to do is give me the seed and we can make a baby out of that seed. Because we can make babies from our body, we are most valued and we are important, because that's the hardest thing to do. What you think?
Wow. That is a loaded question. Because...
Be careful and think about it. Yeah, it's real easy.
That is a loaded question, though.
How's
because, it loaded? I'm glad you gave me that disclaimer. We love women. Because, women, they...
sensitive.
When it comes to that subject...
Think about it, though. It don't have to be where you're walking on eggshells. There's something very simple that we're missing here that you can easily throw out there, but I'm going to let you do it.
Talking about
the hardest thing to do.
To have the baby. Man.
Okay, let me help you out. Since the beginning of the time, the man had been putting his life on the line. And life is valuable, just like the life of a child. But the key was work. Yes, it's a labor to bear a child for 9 months. Yes, it's a labor when the labor comes. It's a terrible situation and it hurts. I get it. But when people say what you bring to the table, okay, after 9 months, he's still going to have to provide. He's still going to have to protect. He's still a man. He's been a man since he was 1 year old. He's going to be a man until he's no longer here. You understand what I'm saying? And here's the thing. It's the act. See what I mean? It's the act. Did you hear that? Think about it. If all you got to do is lay there and somebody sees you, did you really do anything? You're talking about nature. You built to do that. You didn't go out there. Think about it. You didn't go out there and put an incubator in your stomach. You didn't go out there to get injections. You didn't go out. You did not. Okay, I'm gonna make. No, you didn't go out there and make yourself a multi-million-dollar man by sweat, blood, and tears, and suffering, sleeping in the cold, sleeping underneath your dresser drawer, staying late at the office. You didn't do that. You laid there. Someone gave you the fluids, and this is what happened. That's something nature did, not something you did. You understand what I'm saying? So when you're talking about the work, we're not talking about the process of it. The process is, yes, you got to bury your child for 9 months, of course. The process is, yes, after you have the child, and it's going to be, while you're sitting there on your labor and screaming and grabbing and cussing people out. We get that. But this is the key why I brought that in. They use that as a trump card. Because think about it. We said what you bring to the table. What do you do? The man's not, a lot of men, they don't train, they're not born to do what they do. They go training to do what they do. They have to go to war. They get trained to use the weapons. And when they're protecting his woman and his family, he has to go through training to do that. Yes, he may be bigger, he may be stronger, and he is a man at the beginning, and he's still a male figure that can do men things. But most of the time, think about it, men put the work in. That's the key. If I lay on my back and all you got to do is put the tattoo on my back, think about it. I'm not doing the labor. The tattoo hurts. It hurts. I'm laying there. You're doing the work because you're putting the tattoo on my back or on my arm. So why would I say that I am more valuable or I am the value when all I had to do was accept your value? Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, God. Oh, God. What do you think? Oh, man.
Man, I think it's a good thing that your your alias, your alias, because that wow,
Morpheus?
yeah.
No one's saying it's not valid. No one's saying it's not valuable. We're not saying that that's not an important event in life. See, I told you this before. Women look at things differently than men. Mm-hmm. When we say do the work, it's a different story. You go to a job, you make money, take your car to a mechanic. Mm-hmm. A person would say, yeah, I got my car fixed. Okay, yeah, you got your car fixed because you used that money. Of course, you transfer the labor, but still depending on how much labor it is. But we don't have to get into all that. The fact is, you paid somebody else and you just sat in your car, or you sat in the lobby. Someone else worked on your car. They did the labor. Mm-hmm. But then when you hear somebody say, I fixed my car, that means they was out there on the ground. They had the wrench in their hand. There you go. You get me? They got dirty. They got mud on their head and their face. You know, they busted their knuckles. So women don't understand that. They'll say, oh, because I'm always the receiver, I'm the one that's doing most of the labor and it's more valuable. But it would not be there without someone implanting or putting in, and then they still got to put in afterwards. Mm-hmm. Even though the 9 months is important and it's valuable, we're not saying it's not valid. The fact is, even after 9 months and the child is already here, that man is still a man. You understand? You see what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Before 9 months, he's protecting her. He's the big guy. He's loving her. And she says, hey, let's get married. Now she's a fiance. Now she got the ring on her finger. He's still a man. He's still providing her. He's still laboring. He's still going to work. Now she's seated from the first month to 9 months, if it lasts that long. He's still a man. He's still going to work. He's still laboring. He's still suffering. After the child's born, and she have that labor, which is a terrible labor. I get it. Some women don't survive after it. Some women do. It's a bloody, terrible situation, but it will last just for that long. Then it stops. Okay? But yet, during her labor, he's still a man. He's still working. He's still an electrician. He's still a mechanic. He's still busting his ass every day to go to work. And after 9 months is gone and the child is 1 year old, Brian, guess what? He's still working. He's still a man. He's still busting his ass. He's still laying pipe. He's still doing electric. So, law of averages. Are you understanding what I'm saying? You got to break it down like that. Let's just say women say this. Yes, it's terrible. 9 months, God damn it. It's just a terrible thing. And carrying this child was hard for 9 months. And afterwards, I had to take pills, medication. I had to stay home for about a year and a half. That's fine. Because you know what? Let's give it to her. Let's say it was suffering for an entire year. And it was a bad year for her. However, that's her year. But guess what? As a man, he's been busting his ass, working, putting in the work, struggling since he was 1 year old to the age that she met him and beyond, goddammit. You understand what I'm saying? Compare that to 9 months. She can have 9 kids. It's still 9 years compared to him. If he's 30, there you go.
His whole life.
His whole life. There you go. You see, come on, man. Come on.
I did.
Law of averages. That's how you got to break it down. That's not misogyny. That's not hatred. It's facts. If you say, okay, I'll agree with you, sweetheart, baby. Yes, 9 months was terrible. Having a child is a very valuable thing. Yes, if we as the man, we give you the seed, You can pop us out a child. I get it, but guess what? You did that for this amount of time. I've been a man since I was a seed in my father's sack, all the way from there, all the way to 1 year old, all the way to the age I am now, and I'm still gonna be doing this till I'm out of here, goddammit. So what you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about? Oh my God.
Wow.
So the logic of it is not to give you credit. Remember what I said before? Are you ready? How you filter out your enemy? You see how we're able to understand her and her labor and give it to her? Mm-hmm. You see how we was able to break it down and say, I get it. 9 months is hard. The labor is terrible, even if we don't have the labor ourselves, but we understand her from her position. But how many times can women flip the script and say, well, yeah, we can have kids and we could pop out a baby for you, but you do have to protect us. You are the police officers. You are the military. You did build the bridge, and you are out there 0-degree weather trying to make sure that the roads is clean so me and my baby can drive on this road come summertime.
Mm-hmm.
I understand you, sir.
Yeah, usually it's you're the man. That's what you're supposed to do.
Oh my God. You're supposed to suffer.
That's what they say. Usually that's
and let us say that to them. We're in trouble, right?
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
You're the woman.
You're the
that's
woman.
What you're supposed to do.
You're in trouble, right?
Your man cave is your bed.
Yeah, I mean, you're sleeping on the couch now. You say something like that. Oh, 9 months was terrible. It was a horrible situation. Yeah, you're supposed to do that. That's what you do. Whoop-de-doo. How dare you? And here comes the pot and pans. All right, let's get on to the last two. So, anything you want to add to that?
No,
you see how I broke it down?
Open shut case there. Yeah.
Okay, so that didn't sound too horrible, did it? It wasn't. Didn't make you nervous. Yeah, it was simple, right?
Yeah, we can avoid the mob.
Okay, all right. Next thing it says, how you vet out a person, whether they may be your friend, partner, lover, or financial advisor. Give them a time clock. See what they do with it. Meeting places. Hey, we're going to meet up over here at 9 o'clock. See if they're there on time, earlier or late. Tell them we're going to go somewhere. You look like you're guilty of that. Give them a time clock. And see if they're going to be punctual. See if they're going to call ahead of time and say, hey, I'm not going to show up at 8 o'clock.
Now see what happened.
No. We're not. Brian's guilty, ladies and gentlemen.
Say what
No. We're gonna continue on. You give them a time clock, even a woman, her
man.
or him. Most people always give excuses about why they're late or why they're early. But it's amazing how when it comes to their job or their corporate world or something they really want to do, they're on time. If you notice, especially some people, they'll 9 o'clock in the morning. I got to be there. And the funny thing about that is, you notice in the morning, well, when I was, working for corporate and doing all that, everybody be getting it rushing. They'll get there. Mm-hmm. They'll drive 5 or 10 minutes fast. 5 or 10 miles faster than what they usually drive. Then they have zero tolerance. They're cutting people off. They're barely using their turn signal because they're trying to get there at 9 o'clock. But they're doing that for their job and for their career because they find it to be important and because they're getting something from it like money.
Mm-hmm.
So how come they can't give you that same favor where they'll be on time or call you with an excuse why they're late or try to rush and bust their knees to get there to you? So how you filter out your enemies, your friends, or those who are of quality is if they make an initiative, they make a complete effort to be there at the time of the schedule that you have assigned them. And if they're always late, that's how they think about you. If they're always making an excuse, that's how they think about you. If they flake or ghost, that's what they think about you. Then you line them up and say, you, my friend, you categorize yourself as somebody that I can't depend on, and I'm going to put you in this bracket, you're not going to be somebody that I'm going to keep in my circle. What's your thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, that's ugly though. I mean, that's, oof. But it does make sense.
I thought you were getting a good friendship out of me. That was important for you to be there on time. I thought that our camaraderie, our business, our infrastructure, our whatever we were trying to do, I'm involved because I'm a person. I'm not a machine. I'm not a time clock, but I am an individual person who can add value in your life. I thought I was able to provide enough value where you would want to be there on time. Otherwise, you would think and or feel that you're going to be missing out on something important. And because I value myself, I'm not an option. I am a priority. And because I am a priority, I want to see if you see me as a priority by making the effort to be there on time. So if a person don't want to be there on time or try not to meet your schedule or don't care to communicate with you around set time and schedule, that person's not for you. And you got to cut that person out of your circle.
That makes, I mean, like I said, that makes sense. Because on the other hand, you got people that, you know, their life is, let's keep it real. There's some people who have dull lives.
Mm-hmm.
They go home, they go to work.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they do. So when you have someone who's like that, they go home, they go to work, and that's all they do. But yet they find a way to get to you in that process. You should respect that part, that part of it. The fact that even though they have that monotonous routine of home to work, but yet they find a time where it's like, let me go see my partner, Morpheus, for example. Let me go see my partner, Morpheus, you know, in that time. You know, instead of just going from home to work, I'm going to go see Morpheus as well. They are making time for that person. Even if they, quote unquote, may not be on time, the fact that they're making time for that person. Because they don't have to, let's keep it real. Like I said, if this person wasn't important to them.
Let's not give it. I see what you mean that, yes, you make time.
Mm-hmm. For people you want to make time for.
There you go. You just got through saying it. You just put the cork on top of the can because, on top of the bottle.
Yeah, I'm about to say, what kind of cans you drinking?
Well, because here's the thing. You made time. You don't have, well, you can go to the corporate job. You can go to the schedule to be there on time, 9 o'clock. Or you can get you another job. Mm-hmm. Or you cannot go there. You don't have to go home. If a person prioritizes you, yes, they're going to make time, but they're going to be on time because of priority. You understand? Making time is the initiation. When you set up a schedule for someone to, hey, yeah, we're going to meet up on Saturday, or we're going to meet up Friday or Monday. You've already made that time. That's there. It's already premeditated. It's there. Now the next step is being there at that time or on time. You see, so it's not too much of a effort that much to make that schedule. It's moving things out of the way and situating your life where you can be there on time. That's where the real work is. The real work is not just making time saying, yeah, okay, Friday at 8 o'clock, that's going to be the time. If you have all week or you got all month, you should take all month or all week to move everything aside and organize it to be there at that time. The only thing that should stop you is the same thing that would stop you getting to work on time. A wreck, an accident, a busted tire, a freak of nature, or a natural disaster. Same thing when you make a schedule with someone who's a priority. The only thing that will stop you is a natural disaster. Again, family, busted tire, traffic, and things that you can't help. But a lot of times, Brian, most people, not all people, they have a chaotic life. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, they are the natural disaster because there's no excuse for you not to have the ability to move things aside or adjust your schedule when in fact you can, because if it's not a natural disaster, if your tire's not busted, if the road's not blocked, and traffic's is not congested, your car's running just fine, you got a full tank of gas, why the hell aren't you there on time? You see what I'm saying? There's no excuse, because you got all day, all year, the whole day. If your schedule is convoluted and it's busy and it's confusion, then that would need to be brought up that you may not be able to meet at 8 o'clock on Friday. That will be communication, because you should know your schedule. Again, you are God and the devil. You should know your schedule. It should never be, well, I don't know what I'm going to do Friday, but yes, we're going to meet up at 8 o'clock. Don't tell me we're going to meet up 8 o'clock on Friday if you don't have a plan. And a man without a plan is a failing man. Either you plan to fail or you failing to plan, but you want to switch it around. A person who fails to plan is planning to fail. So if you plan, you're going to plan to win. But not planning is going to make you fail inevitably. So therefore, if the power's in your hand, if your ceiling didn't fall in and your refrigerator stopped working and your air conditioner stopped, then you can be there. Or the maintenance man is going to show up to fix your pipes or whatever else that they need to do to keep your house in order. A lot of times people use that as an excuse. I hear what you're saying, that sometimes they're making time and sometimes chaos happen, but you got to understand that's going back to the standard issue, meaning it's based on your standard. If you keep letting me say, hey, I'm going to be there at 7 o'clock, and now it's 7:30 and it's 8 o'clock, and you never check me on it, but you want me to be there at 7 o'clock, I'm going to keep doing it. Now make excuses. Oh, well, I got to feed my cat. Or I had to stop by the dog lady's house, the dog mom, because because her booty call's not showing up tonight. So I just thought of giving her like an hour and 50 minutes. So I had to clean up real fast before getting here, but I'm here and it's 9 o'clock. So
wow.
I would never do that, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I give it.
Yeah, just making a joke out of it.
That was awful. Just awful.
But any dog moms around here, hey, free for the pickings. Which one? Poodle, German Shepherd, Rottweiler, what?
Oh man.
They got pugs.
I can't do a podcast on these conditions.
German Shepherd. I'm just saying. There's plenty of single women around here, and it's going to be even more next year.
Oh man.
Just keep it real. But the fact is, there's no excuse. But I'm going to keep on pushing things back. The next thing I know, I'm be like, oh man, maybe next week. I'll do it maybe Saturday, man. You gonna be free Saturday? I'm not gonna show up Friday. You should be saying, I said 7 o'clock on Friday. If you're not gonna show up 7 o'clock on Friday, you missed out. I'm not gonna reschedule for you, buddy. No, we're not doing it again Saturday. I'll call you when I need you. Or you can say, no, your opportunity is closed. I'll hang out with you when I think about it next time, because now you're demoted. You understand? Mm-hmm. Don't give them a chance to continue to keep flaking on you, or girls flaking on you on a date. Oh, can I do a rain check because I had to go take my mom's dog out because she's not at home. You know, that German Shepherd, if he doesn't get a walk, he's going to be booping all over the house. So, I'm going to be late. I'm going to be 10 o'clock. I know you want to say 7 o'clock. And then 10 o'clock roll around. Then she's walking to your house at 10:45. You see what I mean? Because you didn't have no standards. I know it's late. I only got a few minutes, but can we do this tomorrow? But you said 7 o'clock, and she had all damn day, and she had the entire week to schedule that. She could have told her mom, no, Mom, you need to walk your dog before, because I got something to do Friday. You walk your dog. I love you, but you're going to have to take care of it. You know what it is? Because what happens is people lie. She was probably with some other guy and doing something else and using her mom as an excuse. Mm-hmm. Because if she really wanted to go, if there was a bag waiting for her, $1 million across town, and that guy said, you got to be here at 7 o'clock or you're going to miss this bag. or whatever else. Are you going to get fired? Whatever the case may be, right? You think she's going to let walking her mom's dog stop her from doing that? She's going to tell her mom, as soon as her mom called, hey, baby, can you go walk my German Shepherd? She's going to say, Mom, I love you, but you have to let that German Shepherd squat all over the house because I'm not walking that damn dog. I got something to get over there on the other side of town. This ain't going to stop me. You know what I'm saying? So if she lets something like that stop her, that may not be the thing that's stopping her. And she's going to keep putting you as an option and not a priority when she continues to make excuses. So that way, I hear what you're saying. But just like men and other people, they're going to keep on making excuses to not be punctual for you because you have no standards, like quicksand. That's how you vet out the ones who's for you and not for you. If they're for you, sometimes, Brian, just being there is what matters. Yeah, you can be there and on time. That's with it too. But when you schedule somebody, put them on a clock, and they're there, usually that's what matters. That's what got my girl number 3 into the picture. That's what got her in the picture. She was just there. When I call her, she was there. When I needed her, she was there. She didn't have to say a damn thing. The fact that, and the light bulb went off for me when me and my other 2 girls realized that she was the one, because we start talking about it, and I said, damn, she's there. Like, I was like, wait a minute. She could be somewhere else. She could be spending her time doing something else or whatever else. When I called her at a certain time, she was there. Didn't have to pick up nothing. Didn't have to do any labor. Wasn't even asking her to, we wasn't, no hour and 50 minutes. Nothing like that. The fact that she was there when I was doing my work, doing my paperwork, talking to people, the clients, walking outside. She was just sitting there on the chair, writing, reading, minding her own business. The fact that she was there and I had peace, quiet, and freedom, wasn't nagging, talking about, oh, what are you doing? Where are you going? And who are you talking to? No, she was just there. Not like a Barbie doll. You can say a Barbie doll will be there, almost like that. But she's a living person. The fact she was there, so I said, you know what? I like that. Dependable. And she's been like that ever since because of that standard. I don't have to tell her, well, you need to be here, or you're out of here. I don't want you part of my wife group. You can go on somewhere else. Your sister wives don't want nothing to do with you. No. A lot of people just can't be there. A lot of people don't know how to be consistent. A lot of people just don't know how to be genuine, especially having these high demands. What are you doing and what are we going to do? I'm bored. I'm going to go somewhere else. There's a party going down there in Miami, and I'm going to go sit on the yacht. And I can sit there and tell her, oh, that's where you want to go? Well, go ahead, have fun. Come over here and waste my time. But didn't say anything like that because guess what? You want to be that party. If they want to be around you, they like your, I guess you could say, energy. They like what you offer. You don't have to flip and be this clown to try to entertain them. The fact that they are there and they're spending time with you and they're on time, that'll let you know that they're for you, not against you. But if they barely want to be there, when they get there, they're just lackadaisical, don't want to comply anything, or just, unnecessary demands that they don't deserve, and always making excuses why they can't show up. Those are people you got to cut off. What you think?
That's right. Full of excuses. That's right.
Oh, last thing. A lot of people don't understand this. And men, women alike, this is important. But mostly men. Because women, they are this sense of entitlement going on in America. But for men, have your woman or your client or your friend come to you. Have them come to you.
Of course, because if they like what they see and they want to be with you, for you, they will come to you.
That's right. That's how you know a person is really into you, or they're interested in what you have to offer, or they care. A lot of times people go to, like, family. Sometimes people have separated family. They have dissension in the family. They're going out to see their nieces and nephews. They're going out to see their brother or their sister. They got to go out to see their father or their mother. They're always going to them, but they have a place to stay. You got to learn how to sit back and say, wait a minute. All right, it's your turn. I came to you. Let's see if you come to me. I'm not going to your battlefield and your place. You come over here to my battlefield, see what happens. And I guarantee you, Mr. Brian, you're going to see a difference. There's going to be some who's just not going to show up. Oh, I can't make it. You're too far. No, I got to stay late today, and I got to take out the trash. Take out the trash.
I want to know.
I got to feed the German Shepherd. You know, what? And like, but wait a minute. I didn't make an excuse. I'm always going over there to you. Well, you want to come see your nieces and nephews? Why don't you come and see them? Like, yeah, but you got a car, and your nieces and nephews, they're not machines. You can fit them in your car. I'm sure there's such thing as a seatbelt. Bring them over here to my house and drop them off. Well, gas is expensive, and you live so far away. Oh, I drove to you, and I didn't complain about it.
Same distance.
In the same distance.
So, you're like, okay.
So you want me to suffer, but you ain't going to suffer. Come on, Brian, man. Come on. That's how you know.
Wow.
Especially women. Oh, you going to come pick me up at 7 o'clock? Oh, you got a car, right? Yeah, it's a Chevy Prius. That's okay. You can drive, right? It doesn't work? Yeah, it works. It's something. All right. Meet me over here at this place then. She flake, or she planning on doing something? But okay, I see what you want. So you expect for me to do everything. You expect for me to be the man, be 6 foot tall, have a 6-pack, got 6 figures, 600 horsepower engine, 6-digit lifestyle, and you want me to just come to you and burn my gas to meet you, to impress you, and take you to the restaurant, and all you gotta do is just sit there and do nothing? The hell kind of world we live in? Hell no. No, I'm gonna sit my ass down, and I'm gonna tell you, no, either you're gonna meet me over there, you ain't gonna meet me at my place, you might meet me at my other place, but you're gonna meet me at my main estate. Hell no. But I'm gonna say, hey, no, meet me over here. Well, it's 45 minutes. Okay, if you want it, you come over here. Get yourself together, and I want you to be here at 7 o'clock. If you can't be here at 7 o'clock, 7:50 is not going to work, and I don't want to hear no goddamn excuses either. Well, I couldn't find my shoes, and, the car wouldn't start. So how you get to work in the morning then? Well, excuses. Hell no. No. And some people, you know what they do, Brian? They'll say, well, can we do this next week? There ain't no next week. This is your chance and your opportunity. You actually want to say something? Go ahead, throw it out there.
Tomorrow's not promised.
No, it ain't promised. It's done.
Tomorrow's not promised.
No, forget it. You want to say something? What was you gonna say?
No, that was about it. Like, tomorrow's not promised. You talking about do it next week. Okay.
So, what do you think about that? Having people come to you to see exactly what they're all about, and especially be on time. If you put all that together, you can easily figure out the person who really
show initiative. If
If
they show initiative to want to be part of your presence, then yeah, they someone that's for you.
It makes it, the way you put it together, the way you answer the questions, you make it seem so simple while I'm all dramatic and stuff about it. You just like, of course, if people, they like you, don't be with you, they make the initiative to do it. You make an hour and 33 minutes seem like it's 5 minutes.
But that's because the way you break it down to the point that I could
so you're saying that I'm breaking it down like that.
Yeah, you're breaking it down to a point that I could be simple. That I could simply.
You can simplify it afterwards. Okay, you got something. You got some beans up there. Because that makes sense. Because some people, they don't understand it that way.
Mm-hmm.
So when you break it down in all the segments, there are some people that might be going through it. They're like, that kind of makes sense. Because you can tell a person something like what you just said. make them come to you if they have the initiative to do so and they really care about you. They would, but they won't see why that's so valuable and valid.
Which is why you break it down.
If you break it down, they'll say, you know what? Maybe I need to start doing that and see what happens. This might be kind of, have some standards to stop doing this. Like when we're talking about the women thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm valuable. Yeah, he said, you know what? Well, I'm the one that got to protect you. And when somebody breaking the house, my life is on the line. So, without me, there wouldn't be a road or a bridge. The electric lines, I put that up there. Yeah. How we keep those skyscrapers up to keep them from falling over on you, your family. Oh, and that child that you had for 9 months, that was men. That was us that built that. So, come again. Just throw that out there. But the key is, though, and I'm going to let you have the closing thoughts. Most people, the reason why they came to me is that they have problems they don't know who their real friend is or who's somebody who's by their side, or if they want just to take them for their goods and things like that. And sometimes it's not just having a person come to you. Sometimes you stop paying to see if they pay and see if they like it or complain about it.
Remove your niceties.
Yeah. You stop opening up the door, see they open up the door for you. It goes in so many directions that we don't have the time to talk about it.
That's a whole nother. It's
but it's the same thing. If you can apply that seed, you stop saying good morning, see if they say good morning to you. Don't give them that, hey, big head text. Don't text them say, hey, baby, I love you. No, stop. See if they text you, see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Mess around and go the whole day. You hear nothing from them.
Or when you do, check this out. This is what's going to happen. They say, hey, baby, I miss you or I love you. You used to text me earlier and say that. How come you haven't said that earlier? See, something's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're expecting it. Because you're so used to doing it and so used to going above and beyond your boundary to express yourself to them, where they really haven't had the time nor the chance to send it back because it was a receiver. You don't want to always be the one that's giving. You want to sometimes put yourself in the position where you are the receiver. And just because you are a man, that don't mean you don't receive. That don't mean you don't like flowers every now and then, even though we don't care about them. But having flowers sent to you, oh, he's always giving me gifts while I'm at work and boxes of chocolates on Valentine's Day and everything else. You got to stop and say, okay, let me see if I can get something too. Now, if they don't give you anything, like you just said, they'll expect, well, you're a man. Who cares? You don't need a I care about you birthday card.
Women is a little different. They'll be like, you got me.
I am the table.
Yeah, that's what they do.
I've heard that before.
Yeah, I'm your gift. You don't need no gift. You got me.
I'm the trophy.
I'm the prize.
Oh my God.
The actually came from a real video, by the way. This is what we're talking about. I don't give my man no gift. Because he got me.
No way. Really?
That's what she said.
No, the hell not.
And
what?
I mean, this guy, you darn near had to restrain him. He was shaking like you are Ritalin or something. You're like, you're useless. You're useless.
You are out of here. You're out.
I was dying.
But why do you have to go to that point to realize that? If you have a standard ahead of time and you put down the work and you say, this is what it is, you won't be surprised.
But if you know your value, you will uphold the standard.
And therefore,
if she does not reach the standard, then you will let her go.
But not only that, your people, your friends, family, associates, and business partners too.
Mm-hmm.
You got to understand that in order to vet out and to filter out who's your enemy and who's for you, you got to do these things. But what'll happen is you end up with maybe 5 people out of 100. But it's 5 people of quality. Like I said about my third companion, they'll just be there and be happy to be there. But the rest of them, you can tell them to kick rocks and have fun with it.
Yeah, it's funny because it's like a tree. You got a lot of leaves, you got a lot of branches, but at the bottom, just a few roots.
Just a few.
It's just enough for
Or
that
one
tree
trunk.
to grow.
Yeah, one trunk, but you got roots down the bottom. The roots is your experience.
Mm-hmm.
You're right about that. And it's a whole lot more stronger.
Mm-hmm.
All those branches can break easy because they're just very thin. You have to spread yourself thin.
But you gotta be careful though, because the bread they can fool you to that. Because you think they strong, but as soon as you
Try to
step
climb
out
up.
on them,
Yeah, snap.
as soon as you wait for them to come to you, so to speak.
Oh, say that again. Go ahead. No, go ahead so they can hear you.
Yeah,
This is your
but-
closing thoughts. They need to
That-
hear that. Go ahead. Repeat yourself.
Just talk about the tree.
The
Like I
tree,
said,
okay.
tree, you got many leaves, you got many branches, but only a few roots is needed. Because I was listening to more, we talk about, quality people. That's like your roots, the quality people. And I said, you got to be careful with the branches too, because they'll trick you to thinking they strong. But as soon as you try to stand on them, they'll break off, leave you high and dry.
And then you end up falling to the ground, thinking that they were something steady.
Yeah.
All along, they was just holding on to you
Yep.
just for their own survival.
Of course, and then I flipped it, to go back to the example of you wait for them to say good morning to you. You wait for them to open up a door for you. You wait for them to give you, just like the examples that Morpheus presented earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing, the branches. That's how they operate.
Wow, very good. And to filter them out, you got to put them to the test. Before you depend on them, you start grabbing out to them, say that they're important. You pull on them and see what happens. If it breaks, you know it's the real deal. Now, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here now. Brian, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
It's a good conversation. Caught you off guard with that subject, didn't I?
Yeah, I would say, I should have to be on my toes on that one.
Awesome. All right, let you get out of here so you can meet your German Shepherd. So,
Indeed.
ladies and gentlemen, until next time, our 5 minutes. Shut your mouth.